Hello and welcome. I'm Vijay Srinivas. Oil prices have eased with Brent crude trading at 82 per barrel after the United States and Iran said they have reached an agreement to reopen the Strait of Hormuz later this week. The deal is expected to be formally signed on Friday in Switzerland. And to discuss the implications for global trade and energy markets, we're joined by trade expert D. Ravikanth, who's in Geneva, where the signing is expected to take place. Thank you very much for your time, sir. This appears to be an interim deal brokered by Pakistan and Qatar playing the major role in terms of mediation there. So this is an interim deal rather than a final settlement. What are your initial thoughts on this?
First and foremost, as you said, it is an interim deal, but the deal is done and it has to be signed. That
Hmm.
signing process will take place on Friday. Between now and Friday, there'll be the further discussions through the two major interlocutors, namely Pakistan on one side and Qatar on the other side. So there's going to be a lot of to and fro discussions. In fact, indications are that for the next 4 days, the talks will take place in Qatar to finally hammer out the deal. The deal is being named or called Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding, and that
Hmm.
Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding will, I mean, as both sides have indicated their sort of responses in terms of agreement that has been reached, would include several issues. To start with, it will be the further negotiations after Friday will go on till another 60 days. Now, during this period, for the first 30 days, the Strait of Hormuz will be opened, but there will be more work to be done. The US
Hmm.
has decided to lift its naval blockade, so is Iran. Now, there's going to be an activity called the demining, wherever both sides, particularly Iran, has placed some mines in the area around Strait of Hormuz. So that is one thing. But the highlights of the deal are very interesting. I mean, they still have to be confirmed, but they basically say the Strait of Hormuz will be open within next 30 days, and during this period, vessels can flow easily, or go sail through the narrow path, and it third, then the discussions on the so-called sanctions. There is going to be a massive sanction relief for Iran at this point of time. I mean, following the agreement or the memorandum of understanding, that sanction relief will not come from the US per se, the financial transfers. They could come from both UAE, where a lot of Iranian monies are stuck, and
Hmm.
also Qatar, where there are again some financial assets of Iran being stationed and parked there. So these two things will come. They will run into billions of dollars. The exact figure is not known. Then the third thing is that during this period, one of the major conditions is that there will be a ceasefire not only in the Gulf of Hormuz and in that area, but it will also be there in Lebanon.
That's
So
right.
this is the most important condition, because following the brutal attack that the Israelis launched on Sunday morning, which actually accelerated the
That's right. That's
emergency.
that's also been a key sticking point. But do you still see Israel? Is Israel on board on that?
Israel has to, at least on the face of it, do follow the ceasefire, must follow the ceasefire. But, Israel will find umpteen ways to break the ceasefire, as it has done historically and in the recent conflict. They will find one excuse or other to bomb again, because they have to. derail this agreement by hook or crook by any means. I mean, this is what Donald Trump, in fact, has been so caustic and severely sort of attacked Israel and its prime minister, calling him in names which are explicit expletives. He is the man who can still Netanyahu is and Israel, more so Netanyahu, is definitely going to not leave this process sort of go through smoothly. He will try and find out one way or other to relaunch or restart the attacks on Lebanon, following which this time Iran would definitely be involving itself in helping the Hezbollah in Lebanon. So there are a lot of ifs and buts at this point of time, but on the face of it, it's a definite strategic victory for Iran. It's a victory for its some kind of strategic endurance and its ability to stand up and not surrender. And this will definitely be recorded in the history. But of course, it's too early to say all this will follow. But there are several good things that could happen. Of course, the negotiations are not going to be very easy. Both sides will definitely put up maximalist positions in the after the memorandum of understanding. Those negotiations are expected to either be held in Islamabad or in Qatar or in Geneva. But on Friday, the Pakistan's mission in Geneva is going to organize a major show of signing of these agreements, which are electronically sort of shared between the two sides. Though there are still some kind of issues where convergence is yet to come. That's the latest state of affairs.
On the face of it, Mr. Ravikanth, looking at the agreement itself, Iran appears to have retained control over the Strait of Hormuz, while the more contentious issue of its nuclear program has been deferred to the future negotiations.
Right.
So, does this suggest this is more of a tactical de-escalation than a comprehensive deal? What does Donald Trump stand to gain from this?
No, for him, it's a very important thing because he's under massive attack within his domestic politics. His ratings are rapidly falling, and he has gone into a war, which he ought not have done this. In fact, today, I mean, it's a strange, ironical coincidence that as the World Cup is happening in U.S., of course, in Mexico and Canada simultaneously, for Donald Trump, it's a self, what you call kick into the goal. It's a self goal he scored because at the end of the day, I mean, the proclamations that they both sides made on 20th of February have not been met in any way, and they have now had to force to deal with this Strait of Hormuz, which was not an issue at all at the time of starting of this conflict. And they have brutally and unprovokedly and nakedly attacked Iran. More so, it was the Israel Netanyahu's doing. He has unnecessarily got Trump trapped into this whole conflict. Previous presidents of the United States have had massive tensions with Iran. They had imposed sanctions on Iran for time to time, including the Obama administration, even after the Geneva, the peace accord that they have signed, the JCPOA, and even the Biden administration. But what Trump did
That's right.
was that he got trapped by this Netanyahu man, and whose life ambition has been to destroy Iran. And of course, for Iran also, Israel is the major enemy in the region. So, I mean, nevertheless, credit also must go to Donald Trump that he finally realized that things are going in all directions. I mean, global economy has been so severely damaged. Domestically, politics, I mean, in the coming months, you'll see the elections again for the Congress. And there he's expected, according to all polls that are coming out, that he will not be able to do well. I mean, his party will lose both the House and could also lose the Senate, which are unfortunate. I mean, which would not have had been the case if he did not go to this war, which was, Netanyahu's design. And he found in Donald Trump the man to sort of start this war.
All right. Mr. Ravikanth, how long do you think this interim agreement can realistically hold? And I ask you this because, the ceasefire too was really fragile, and we understand the complexity that the Middle East as a
Yeah.
region that comes with, so given the underlying tension between, not just between Iran and US, but also between Iran and Israel, you think how long can the ceasefire realistically hold, sir?
So, right now, the situation is like this. For the next
Hmm.
30 days, the Strait of Hormuz would be open. During this period, all the passage through the strait will be facilitated and improved by removing all those mines. But the important condition, of course, the Gulf countries definitely know this, that they are fearing Israel, I mean, more so Qatar and others, that Israel will go to any extent because Netanyahu himself is facing an election. And though there has been initially massive support for him in launching this war, but subsequently the damage that Iran also inflicted on Israel, and he failed to achieve his goals. I mean, he failed to completely dismantle or destroy the regime in Tehran. He failed to get the nuclear issue sort of in any way resolved. And then he failed to, he became a kind of a persona non grata in the international politics, particularly after Donald Trump, launched such severe criticisms of on him. I mean, and more so, even yesterday, Donald Trump said he's a very difficult man to, but he put him in place. So there is definitely this interim agreement is nothing guaranteed in cast iron at this point of time. But let's see. I mean, we can only hope for the best, but things may definitely unravel once Israel starts, its warmongering activities.
Okay. Also, what does this agreement mean for oil prices? We see the oil has come down to dollar eighty
Come
two per
down, yeah.
barrel.
Yeah, so the oil prices
You,
will
you,
definitely stabilize around 80 or so in the coming days
Mhm.
during this period of talks and all. But it could further go down also, but that is, yet to be seen. Certainly, the oil prices have, the relief that is coming from the sudden drop from close to 100 to now about 83 or 84 is quite a significant decline. And that would definitely help all the countries which have been severely damaged and affected, particularly countries like India. Now at least with the relief of on the sanctions front, Iran can also sell its oil across the board. It can sell to any country as long as the relief on sanctions remain in place, at least for 30 days or maybe for 60 days. So countries, I mean, India and others can buy oil. My gut feeling is he's actually today coming here in Geneva. Today we are not able to move. I'm supposed to go to Avion for this meeting, But let's see, because the movement has been so difficult here today, because Trump is going to first come to Geneva and then move to the G7 meeting. And at the G7 meeting, my gut feeling is that he is going to make a sort of a demand that all the Western countries must now sort of join his forces, though the blockade will be removed, that they
All right,
should
and
all.
how long?
Sorry?
I think there's a bit of an internet issue there.
Hello?
Mr. Ravikant, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Hello?
Mr. Ravikant, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
I can hear
So,
you.
no, that's right. That's right. So, there's a bit of a technical glitch in between. I want to ask you there, sir, before we wrap this up, how long do you think it'll take for supply chains and, oil shipments to get back to normalcy following this interim deal?
Supply chains will definitely be reactivated, particularly starting with China, which is going to definitely start its purchases, and other countries also. But there is certainly a period of 30 days. I mean, in these 30 days, will they completely come to the normal flow that used to happen, since thousands of ships are still stuck in that area? And it also has to be seen how Iran allows these ships without any, raising any constraints for them. Uh, but right now, that is the situation. I mean, the real flows and the supply chains will be completely activated in the next 30 days. It won't happen tomorrow, day after itself. Firstly, this Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding has to be signed. That's on Friday. And following which, the discussions and the negotiations are not going to be easy. There'll be a lot of rough patches. There'll certainly be a severe sort of, to and fro issues that will be have to be resolved. And given the way Iran has managed through the negotiations, it's certainly much more advanced in terms of its negotiating skills, and will definitely stand up for some of the key issues, particularly peace in the region, and also ceasefire to be normalized completely in Lebanon. But I mean, as I've already said, that the real saboteur in chief is a man called Netanyahu, and he's not going to leave things to settle easily.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah,
Pleasure
thank
talking
you.
to you. Thank you.
Bye.